Hi guys, Liesel here. I just wanted to let you know that the Mommy Labor Nurse podcast, as you know it, is getting a huge facelift. I'm so excited. We don't have a definite launch date in mind yet, but girl, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. In the meantime, please enjoy this re-air of a fan favorite episode and stay tuned to my Instagram stories for updates on when the new and improved Mommy Labor Nurse podcast will be back with all new episodes.
And I came out of the room and my face was just like lit up, like that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like she could just tell I was like beaming, and she was like, you need to do this. Like I can tell that you just really, really like this atmosphere.
You're listening to the Mommy Labor Nurse podcast, where you'll gain the knowledge and confidence you need to erase the unknowns of pregnancy and birth and rock the newborn days like a boss. My name is Liesel. I'm a fellow mom, labor and delivery nurse, and your host. Each week on this podcast, you'll hear a mix of birth stories, expert interviews, and other fun pregnancy and birth-related content. As a reminder, anything you hear on this podcast is not medical advice. Please see mommylabornurse.com/disclaimer for more details. And now let's get into this week's episode.
Happy Monday. This week on the Mommy Labor Nurse podcast, I am joined by my sister and MLN team member, Jenna, for a fun get to know me style episode. Got to keep it light every once in a while, right? Usually I am actually the one interviewing other people, as you guys know, but this week Jenna is going to interview me so that you can get to know me better professionally and personally as well. I'll talk about, some personal stuff. You'll hear about how I got started in L&D, my L&D superpower, what I'd be doing if I wasn't a labor and delivery nurse, and a whole lot more. Are you ready to learn more about Liesel? Let's do it. Second trimester mamas, did you know that I have a totally free second trimester printable pack just for you? Yeah, I do. Inside, you'll find a second trimester checklist so you feel certain nothing's falling through the cracks with 22 more to-dos. And make sure you don't skip number 15. You don't know what number 15 is until you grab that prep pack, but it's very important. You'll also get a baby registry checklist that includes diapers to clothing to all the gear that you need. Get insider tips on all the must-haves. And our old wives' tale worksheet created just for fun, because we all need fun, right? Right. Yeah. Created just for fun to see if you can guess your baby's sex based on 20 old wives' tales. To grab all of this for free, simply head over to mommylabornurse.com/second trimester. That's mommylabornurse.com/SECOND trimester to grab your free second trimester prep pack today. Hi, Jenna. Welcome to the Mommy Labor Nurse podcast. Thanks so much for sitting here with me today. What are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about?
We are going to talk all about you.
Oh.
Yeah. And in this case, I'm actually the interviewer and you're the interviewee.
Oh. Okay. Well, let's get right into it.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know Jenna, she's my sister. She's been on the podcast a lot. So if this is your first time listening, go back and search for Jenna and listen to all the Jenna episodes to get to know Jenna. But Jenna's my sister, and she also works for Mommy Labor Nurse. And sometimes she comes on the podcast for fun episodes.
Yeah, usually it's the fun ones. I don't get into the medical stuff, but birth, your birth story, postpartum, stuff like that, I'm usually on. So
yeah, she's a pretty good question asker too. So she's usually my go-to question asker when I need someone for this type of episode.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, we just thought it would be a fun little episode to do for you guys. Keep it kind of light, and just so you guys can kind of get to know me a little bit better and talk about labor and delivery stuff and Mommy Labor Nurse stuff. And yeah, short little fun episode.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Okay. Are you ready, Liesel?
I'm ready.
Alrighty. The first question is, where are you from? How old are you? And what's your official job title? So I guess that's 3 questions. And what does that mean? What does your job title mean?
Yes. So I am originally from New Jersey. I was born up north in Mount Holly, New Jersey, which if you ask me where that is on a map, I could tell you what state New Jersey is, but I could not tell you where that is in New Jersey. I have no idea. I was just born there and I moved down to North Carolina when I was like 3 or 4, I think. So I pretty much say I'm from North Carolina because I went to kindergarten here. But yes, so what was the next question? Oh, how old am I? I am 33. I just had a birthday back in July, and my official job title is a long one, I guess. I am the founder of Mommy Labor Nurse. I am a labor and delivery nurse part-time, and I'm also a mom, I guess. I feel like
that's a job title.
Yeah, right? I feel like that hits all the things.
I think so too.
I don't know what that means. Like, that just means that I wear a lot of hats. I think that's what that means.
Yes, you
I'm
do.
always
Definitely
busy.
do. Yes.
But I like being busy, you know? Like, I feel like I get bored when I'm not busy. So,
right. I'm totally with you. Kind of just running on a hamster wheel, you know?
I just kind of like it. I don't know. It motivates me when I always have something to do, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. Okay, next question. What was your first exposure to the world of labor and delivery?
Okay, so I guess this answer is maybe 2 things. Back when I was in middle school, I used to watch that show, A Birth Story. I loved that show. I would, when I was homesick or something, or when I would get home from school, I would watch it. It's just a show on TLC about people who had a birth story and they gave birth, and you would see inside the hospital when they gave birth. So I always really loved that show, A Birth Story. And I think that's kind of the first kind of taste I got of being interested in labor and delivery. And then our mom, she's always spoke very highly of labor and delivery nurses. When she had me via C-section and had you as a VBAC. So I've just always kind of had that in the back of my head as well. And then in terms of my first inside the hospital experience with labor and delivery was in clinicals in nursing school. I had she wasn't my patient, but I was, in a nursing student in her room, and it was her second baby. And I remember when she was crowning and pushing and seeing the little top of baby's head. And, when that happens, the baby's head, it kind of molds a little bit to come out of mom. So it was very wrinkly, kind of coming out, and, it had hair, obviously. But I remember looking at it and being is that it? How? And this was before I had kids, and just being so mind blown, wait, is that how it is that how it just mind blown? And then she kept pushing, and it was her second baby. So it went pretty fast. And then the baby just kept coming and coming and coming. And this is usually the reaction that we see partners have especially if, this is their first baby, that they're surprised that it just keeps coming and coming and coming. They think that the baby's head is very, very small at first when it's crowning. And then all of a sudden it's oh, there's a lot of head. So I remember thinking that same thing when she was pushing this baby out. And yeah, it was her second baby. She pushed the baby out. And I just remember being that was literally the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life up until this point. And I think I was 21 or 22. And coming out of the room, and my clinical instructor at the time, gosh, I don't remember her name. I wish I remembered her name, but I remember her and just how kind and sweet and what a good nursing instructor she was. And I came out of the room and my face was just lit up that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. She could just tell I was beaming, and she was you need to do this. I can tell that you just really, really like this atmosphere.
Oh, wow.
So it's just cool. I mean, I knew that, but it was just her kind of confirming wow, I can tell you really, really like this environment. And yeah, ever since then, I just knew that, obviously I was already in nursing school, but I knew that eventually I wanted to get to some sort of labor and delivery-esque. My goal was always to be on labor and delivery. How I got there, whether it was postpartum first or working in pediatrics or this, that, and the other. But my goal was always to be a labor and delivery nurse and be that nurse that's, holding the leg and charting and in the room as the baby's actually coming out of mom.
Yeah, that's so cool. And I actually remember you watching that show a lot. The baby story, what is it called?
A Baby Story. I think they had a baby story, a wedding story, a something else story. It was like a series. I don't
It
know.
was like on TLC or something, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and I just remember being really grossed out by it. Yeah, and even like in my high school child development class, we all had to watch a birth video and
Really?
everyone was just cringing like, "Oh, that's so nasty." I could just see you like you would probably be in the corner like, "Oh my god, this is amazing."
It's so
But
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really really cool.
If you haven't heard of the baby and children's sleepwear brand Ergo Pouch, well, guess what? They are currently celebrating their 15-year anniversary. For 15 years, Ergo Pouch have been supporting parents and babies around the world on their sleep journey with their premium certified organic and natural fiber TOG rated sleepwear and sleep solutions. And fun fact, TOG stands for thermal overall grade. I looked it up because I like to look stuff up like this, but it's basically a test that tests textiles, fabrics, right, for their ability to retain warmth. Their Safe Sleep approved range covers ages newborn to 6 years and takes the guesswork out of what to dress a child in for sleep with their free room thermometer and what to wear guide included with every pouch. They have exceptional sustainability credentials, stylish prints, and gorgeous products that are ergonomically designed for each age and stage of your mini's development in the first 6 years. At Mommy Labor Nurse, we love Ergo Pouch because they simplify how to safely dress your baby for sleep, which is precisely what tired parents need. Yes, yes, and yes. Simplify. I'm tired. I don't want to think about anything more than I absolutely have to. So guess what? To celebrate, Ergo Pouch have just launched their brand new collection, Birthday Blobs, a fun-filled character print designed to add a touch of magic to their special day. Whether you're welcoming a new baby or marking a birthday milestone, the Blob Gang are here to party. Giggles and hugs guaranteed.
Okay. What were you doing when you decided to become a labor and delivery nurse?
Yeah, so we kind of went over this question a little bit in the last one, but I will expand on this. So I knew kind of going in from nursing school that I wanted to eventually be in labor and delivery, but my path there kind of was I graduated from nursing school. I worked in the ER in like a small kind of community hospital for a year just to get some experience because my current manager was the one who hired me, but she couldn't hire me when I first came out of nursing school because they didn't have any positions for new grads. So I had her email actually from a mutual friend. I had a mutual friend. She's still my friend, but it was a mutual, like kind of family friend. And she was friends with a nurse that I still work with up on the floor. And I met her one time at like a Christmas party. And I was just like in awe of her, like, can you tell me everything you know? Like, I'm like, I really, really want to be a labor and delivery nurse one day, but, just kind of ridiculously getting excited about it. And so, yeah, so she was like, oh yeah, she's so chill. Like she's so chill. She was like, oh yeah, like no problem. Like, here's her email, like text me if you need anything. And so I sent my manager an email. This was right when I graduated. Actually, I think it was because I was an LPN actually before I became an RN. I kind of went obscure way to be an RN, but I was an LPN. I think actually I had met this person while I was still an LPN and I was in RN school. I can't exactly remember. But anyways, I remember I emailed my manager. Still had that email from when I met this, mutual friend. And I emailed my manager like the day after I passed the NCLEX. And I was like, hey, really, really aspire to be an L&D nurse. This is how I got your email, this, that, and the other. I just wanted her to see how excited I was to come and work for her. And she's like the nicest lady ever, sent me back an email and explained, oh yeah, we're always looking for people like you, but we don't have any positions for new grads. Like, but once you get your year of experience, like follow up with me and we'll interview you, if we have space. And so of course I'm like, that's my goal, So I got a job in the ER, and I'm really glad I went that route. Honestly, it would have been fine if I had started out as a new grad and just done labor and delivery, but working in the ER gave me a lot of experience with a lot of different types of patients on the full age range, and just it helped me, I think, prioritize a little bit more because I have trouble with prioritizing things in general. So I think it really helped me prioritize like which task is more important than, another task. And it helped me with my skills. I'm still really good with IVs because I did them just all the time in the ER and Foley's.
Yeah.
It's just like, you just do things really, really fast. So I think it was a really, really good base to eventually get into labor and delivery. So throughout that first year in the ED, I emailed my manager a couple other times just to be like, hey, don't forget about me. I'm Liesel. Hey, remember, like I sent you that first email. And then eventually when I got my year, like the day of, I sent her another email and yeah, she had a position. She interviewed me and hired me. And I was just over the moon. So excited.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah. You got to bother the shit out of them so they remember you.
I
like,
know.
Oh, that girl,
it's true.
She really wants this,
Yeah. You have to sometimes be pushy because that's the advice I give to people too when they ask me like, oh, do you have any tips on becoming a labor and delivery nurse or becoming whatever kind of nurse? And it does make a difference to managers when people are like, I want to come work for you. Like, I'm so passionate about this job. It really, really shines through. So,
yeah. And I'm sure, people like that stand out to them and it makes them want to hire them because they're like, oh, they'll probably want to stay here if they're like super, super passionate about it,
Yeah, exactly.
So cool. Okay, next question. What do you like most about being a labor and delivery nurse?
There's so many things. I'm going to go really general and just say, I just love helping people. I love a good birth where I feel like I really, really helped this mom through her labor or through her C-section. And I was really there for her and we really bonded. There's so many aspects that I love, but in a general sense, I've just always had that kind of personality where I give to people and I just really, really enjoy helping people, especially in these moments where you're really, really vulnerable and you really, really need a lot of help. So that's for sure one of them. And then another one is I really like the adrenaline rush. Sometimes it can be really fast paced and you get someone really, really fast. They come in, you have to do things really fast and they have a baby. And it's just, I do really, really enjoy the kind of adrenaline of it as well.
Yes. And your job before doing all the hospital stuff was being a server, which is also very much adrenaline driven.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you like least about being a labor and delivery nurse?
So it's funny because I like the adrenaline rush, but I don't like the adrenaline rush when I'm not comfortable. So my answer to this is emergencies.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, if baby's heart rate tanks and I have to run back to the OR really quick, I'll get him back. It'll be fine. But afterwards, I always have to be like, oh, okay. Like we're okay. It's just, it kind of just, shakes you up a little bit. Yeah. So I definitely am not a fan of the super crazy emergencies. I can handle it. It's going to be fine. You're going to be fine. But yeah, that for sure is my least favorite part. A lot of people think it's like the really sad part. You have a fetal demise come in or you have, it's something really sad happen. And fetal demise is definitely, that's not my least favorite. I actually really enjoy taking care of those patients because, again, I really enjoy helping people. And I think that is a time in someone's life, unfortunately, if you have to be in that situation where you need a lot of support. And I love providing support to those patients. So that's not on my list. I don't like the emergencies. I don't obviously like the sad part where something goes wrong that we weren't, none of us were expecting to happen. Like, baby goes to NICU unexpectedly, something like that. But yeah, I would say in a general sense, like those quick, fast emergencies that I'm not expecting.
Yeah. I don't think anybody really likes emergencies unless you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the sound of that baby crying means it's time for this week's segment of Birth It Up Babies. This one's a short and sweet one. This one says, your epidural series gave me so much useful information. I went in feeling so prepared. The L&D staff even commented on how much I knew and understood about the process. Yay. After a 38-hour induction, long time, I pushed for 36 minutes and out came our beautiful baby girl. Thank you so much. And she sent little heart emojis. Do you already know you want an epidural? Make it an informed epidural birth with Birth It Up, the Epidural Series, an online birth class for mamas that are planning an epidural birth. Most online birth classes are either geared for mamas that want to go natural or they're super generic. What gives? Seriously. We know that childbirth education leads to a more positive birth experience, so a birth class that suits your specific needs only makes sense. Get educated about the entire birth process from your first contraction through your hospital stay after birth. Learn how to manage the pain of labor before your epidural is placed, discover the benefits, potential side effects, and what to expect from your epidural placement, and erase every ounce of unknown and fear surrounding your birth. Birth It Up, the Epidural Series will leave you feeling confident and in control for the big day. Learn more at mommylabornurse.com/epidural birth. That's mommylabornurse.com/epidural birth.
Okay, what is your labor and delivery superpower?
I would say, even though I'm a little bit of a spaz on Instagram and even on the podcast, I'm pretty darn good at being really, really calm under pressure, or being really, really calm and like being really, really calm. If someone's freaking out, I can calm someone down pretty quick.
Yeah.
I feel like that's definitely my superpower, and just calming a room. So they often give me the patients. Well, not always, but sometimes they'll give you patients that are a little bit like anxiety driven, because I feel like I do stay really, really calm, and I can calm a room very, very well.
Yeah. And that is an awesome skill to have, because that's something I don't have. And I really, really wish I did, because it's like super, super important.
Yeah,
to just stay calm. Yeah,
it is. It is. Yeah. I mean, sometimes if I'm going through something, it's hard for me to stay calm with my whatever I'm going through. But if someone else is like freaking out, I'm pretty good at being like, girl, it's okay. It's going to be fine. Like, and just like talking them through it. And it really depends on the patient. Some people really like that, that kind of voice. And some people need that like in your face, it's going to be okay. Like the more intense kind, like not you're going to do this. That sounded bad. But like, sometimes at the very end, they're like, I can really, and it's like, instead of it's like, no, you got it. Like, it's going to be fine. This is what we're going to do, So I've always been good, I think, at reading people. And I think that's probably where that skill kind of comes from, is because I'm good at reading the situation and calming them down if they need to calm down, or like matching their energy too, if they need me to match their energy,
Yeah, that's super important in birth. I feel like they really want, some people prefer different things, and just matching their energy and kind of reading them is a really great thing to have.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. What might you be doing if you weren't a labor and delivery nurse?
I think I would have either gone the teaching route, because I love teaching, or I don't know. I think I would probably I want to say I would probably just be another type of nurse, but yeah, I would probably go some sort of teacher route, whether it's like in school or I'm teaching in some other sort of profession, like I'm working for a company and I'm in the teaching department doing something. I really enjoy teaching. So I think that's where I would have gone.
Yeah. That makes sense, because mommy labor nurse is all about teaching people. And
exactly.
Yeah, I could definitely see you being a teacher for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing when you're not working in the hospital or working on mommy labor nurse stuff?
Yeah. So I hang out with my kids and my family and my husband a whole lot. I really enjoy like doing research on things and like doing little house projects around the house, or I'm really into like my plants right now and just trying to take care of my plants. My one is not doing so well. But yeah, I've always been the kind of person where I'll get some sort of weird hobby and get really obsessed with it and just dive deep into it. Like right now, it's my plants. It's been Mommy Labor Nurse for the past 4 years. So even though that doesn't really answer the question because, you know, it's on Mommy Labor Nurse stuff. I mean, Mommy Labor Nurse is sometimes my hobby too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the answer is spending time with my family, hanging out with my husband, doing household kind of projects. If I have some sort of hobby going on, like doing that sort of stuff, hanging out with my friends. I mean, I have friends that I like to hang out with on the weekends and stuff like that. I mean, there's not like some crazy weird hobby that I have that I do all the time, I guess. Pretty normal. Skydiving. Yeah.
Yeah. And I see you a lot on Pinterest. So I know you
I
like
love
to pin,
Pinterest.
like organizing stuff and plant stuff and
I love Pinterest.
House stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Pinterest is awesome.
It's so relaxing to me. That is what I like to do before I go to bed, is just look at Pinterest with my blue light glasses on. I have my iPad in my bed, but I have my little blue light glasses on so it doesn't,
What is that?
Blue light glasses?
Yeah.
You don't know what blue light glasses are?
No, does it protect you from like the screen light?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah,
know
because
that was a thing.
blue light is supposed to affect, the way that you sleep and stuff. So you're not supposed to be on your phone or watch TV or, be in front of a screen for a certain amount of time before you go to bed. So I try to put my little blue light glasses on a few hours before I go to bed. I mean, does it help? I mean, I sleep okay, so I guess, but it makes me feel better that I have my little blue light glasses on and I'm doing my Pinterest before bed.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had not heard of blue light glasses before, so that's a new one for me. Good to know.
Funny.
Okay, next question. Who tolerates your crazy schedule?
Everyone in my life, I think.
Yeah.
My husband, for sure, tolerates it, and my kids, my family. I have a lot of support, which is really, really nice, and it makes things flow a lot easier. So, yeah. Everybody has to tolerate my schedule, tolerates my schedule.
Yeah. And it's really nice. Also, like our mom, they have a very flexible schedule. So it's really
they're
nice.
Retired and just, yeah, it's nice. We have a lot. My in-laws live about the same 10 minutes, from me, and our parents live about 10 minutes. So we always have help with the kids. If we need help with the kids, we're very lucky in that sense. But yeah, I have a lot of help and a lot of people who tolerate the schedule. Tolerate sometimes is a bad word. I would say support the schedule.
Exactly. Yeah,
right.
That's a better way of saying it for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last question.
Okay.
What are 3 fun facts about yourself?
So before I got on this episode, I was Googling fun facts about yourself. Like, what do I even answer to this question? And so I just could not think of anything. So I was Googling this, but I came up with 3. Okay. So my first one is I have an extremely irrational fear of butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, it's embarrassing to say and it's weird. And I know everybody listening is like, what? But yeah, it's not that I can't see them like I can like draw a butterfly and like not be freaked out. I can see butterflies that are cartoon like kind of butterflies. But even like on TV, when you see like Walter loves bugs, which is really, really weird actually that he loves bugs and I hate bugs. But the other day he was watching like a little National Geographic thing on bugs and they had butterflies on there and I'm like, oh, like I don't know, it just freaks me out. And yeah, it's something about, it's again, an irrational fear, an irrational I just see a big butterfly outside and I'm like, oh my God, it's just so weird. I know you guys probably think I'm the weirdest person ever. Like it's it's so strange.
I think it's more common than you think because I've heard of other people saying they're afraid of butterflies. It's something with like their weird, unexpected flying pattern and like just wings in the air. It's just like, I don't know.
I don't know what it is. Even when I see a butterfly like on the ground that's dead, that like their wings, it like freaks me out. I don't know.
Really?
It's like I get the creepy crawly kind of feeling. And I had to really, really try hard to suppress this because I don't want to like, okay, I'm not going to scream and run away. Okay. It's not that. I just kind of like tense up and I'm like, oh God, don't get away from me. You know, like I just kind of close my eyes, but I have to really suppress it sometimes when I'm around the kids because I don't want the kids to be like, I mean, Walter knows that mom has it in issue. Like mom's kind of weird. She just doesn't like butterflies. She knows that, but I don't want to be afraid of that or, you know, I mean, I don't want to be afraid of butterflies and him see me freak out about butterflies and then him think like, oh my God, they're really scary. Obviously, it's been fun because he loves butterflies and he loves bugs and I've done a good job so far, I guess. But yeah, I've definitely had to suppress it in times like that where I'm around the kids and I'll see one or like in public. It would be embarrassing if I was just like, oh my God, we gotta leave it, you know? It's so weird. It's so weird. But yeah, this creepy crawly, like weird phobia, irrational phobia.
Are you scared of them when they're caterpillars or it's just butterflies? Okay.
No, it's the flying, something with the flying.
Okay.
I can deal with birds. Birds are fine.
Yeah.
Birds are fine.
Well, just don't ever go in the butterfly house at the science museums because that'll be your worst nightmare. Yes. Yeah. Okay, what's your next fun fact?
My next fun fact is that I can say the alphabet backwards very, 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 very fast.
Do it.
ZYXWVUTSRQPONMLKJIHDFEDCBA.
Dang.
Can you do that?
Not a chance.
Like, could you say it backwards slow, though?
Not a chance.
Really?
No, I would have to look at it in writing and like rate it off because I could not. Funny. It would take me like 10 minutes to do, but
I don't know why I learned how to do that when I was little, but I did. And it was some weird thing that's always stuck in my brain and I can say it in like 5 seconds.
That's funny.
So yeah that's number 2.
Uh-huh.
My last one is I have never met another person named Liesel in real life. I've never like shook hands with another Liesel. I've heard plenty of people say when they hear my name, oh, I had a friend named Liesel, or oh, my sister's middle name is Liesel, or oh, you know, this person. So it's always been secondhand, but I've never actually met another person named Liesel in my life. And that's something that is on my bucket list still to do.
Yeah. I was going to say, you need to add that to your bucket list because you definitely need to meet someone named Liesel one day.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, I guess that's it, right?
That's it.
Thanks, Jen, for hopping on with me for this fun little episode.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, that wraps up this week's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and letting me be a part of your motherhood journey. It is truly an honor. If you like what you heard, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And I love hearing what you guys think of the podcast. So if you're liking what you hear or you have a suggestion, I'd be so grateful if you'd go ahead and leave me a review wherever you're listening to help more mamas just like you find the show. What do you think? Are you starting to feel a little more confident about your pregnancy and birth? Well, if you want more, be sure to head on over to mommylabornurse.com/podcast for today's show notes and a library of episodes so you can keep getting educated before your upcoming birth. And while you're over there, be sure to check out the blog and learn about our online birth classes. Find it all and more over at mommylabornurse.com/podcast. See you next week, same time, same place.